NFL on EA Sports, where we'll see a brawl inside the NFC South. It's the Panthers and the Falcons, and it comes your way next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today, our new season begins with an NFC South matchup, as it'll be the Carolina Panthers taking on the Atlanta Falcons. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. Well, CD, new season is here. Lions and Chiefs got it going on Thursday night. You and I were there. What a scene that was. But now here we are a few days later on Sunday, looking at two teams with great expectations here to begin 2023.
It's always fun to get a new season started, isn't it, partner? Because everyone feels like they've got a shot at the defending champs. They think that
a new season of NFL football is here, and we're off in 2023 on EA Sports. On the return, here's the dangerous Cordero Patterson. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Falcons ready to go to work here on offense. And at the helm in his second season, Charles, it's Desmond Ridder.
The Falcons got their feet wet with Ridder during a 4-game audition last season, and he did end their year with a pair of wins. Optimism reigns that he is their quarterback of the future.
Ridder looking to put it up right away. This one complete to Scott Miller. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot. Back to throw, Ridder. Open man is Kyle Pitts, his tight end. And Pitts is going to pick up a Falcons first down as he'll be brought down at the 38-yard line. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's the 8th overall pick from Texas. It's Bijan Robinson. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down. Second down and 8. Ridder will set up to throw it. Short throw caught by Pitts. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And now it's 3rd and 3. Ridder to throw it. He completes this into the hands of Miller. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. It'll be a pickup of 4. Good enough to earn him yet another first down. On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
Holding offense.
That time, the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold them.
Ridder with it after the play fake. That's to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete. So our game here, one of 8 games in total on this opening weekend that is a divisional matchup. And listen, you look at this NFC South, new coach and quarterback on the other sideline for Carolina, new quarterback in New Orleans, new QB in Tampa. All of a sudden, Desmond Ridder, Charles, is the lone established veteran quarterback in the division.
I like how you said established there. I think in the elastic sense of the word, he's the established veteran. But he is the guy that returns to his team from last year and is leading them. This division is going to be wide open.
That's a pretty good opening possession defensively.
And you know the goal is to make something of a statement, especially on the road with your first defensive possession, isn't it? Go right out and establish yourselves and let them know this is going to be tough going all game long.
So here are the Panthers set to take over for the first time. And Charles will get a look at the much-heralded rookie Bryce Young, the first overall pick from April's draft.
Bryce Young, the quarterback out of Alabama with a Heisman Trophy in his hip pocket, is the new face of Carolina football. 80 touchdowns, just 12 picks in his college career for the Crimson Tide. He may be a little small in terms of size, but potential, massive.
Now a throw over the middle, and he's got it to start the drive. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Looking to throw, Young. And his throw here is going to be incomplete. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Young. And he's unable to haul it in, so it falls incomplete over the middle third of the field, and that brings up 4th.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
Fielded at the 33. It's a return of 5 following a punt of 42 yards. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. So for the 2nd time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense. And Charles, nothing like squaring off with a division opponent, a division rival in week 1. Do you like that they are matching up this early, or would you prefer a game like this be a few weeks down the road?
I actually like the early matchup for a few reasons, Brandon. First of all, it allows you to see that in the entire offseason and know, hey, right out of the gate, we're playing a division game. Second part is it spreads them out a little bit. If you just have them all bunched up at the end of the year, that's not as much fun watching teams try to survive that gauntlet when you do have injuries down the stretch. And last but not least, let's face it, we're TV people. What a great game to sell right out of the gate.
It's a gain of 16, 1st down Falcons. Ritter back to throw. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Here's Ritter. Throw out right, taken in by Patterson. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Ritter cannot escape, and they bring him down. In for the sack, Deion Jones.
It's 4th down. Bradley Pinion in formation.
We're scoreless after 1.
With no score.
Back now in Atlanta, 2nd quarter action. The Falcons with the football as they've got it with a 4th down coming up. The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. And the fair catch is taken at about the 13-yard line here. The Panthers coming back out onto the field for their 2nd drive. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Young to throw again on 2nd and 10. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. And they're going to stop play here. And the injury is to, that's DJ Chark, the receiver, who's in need of some help right now. Well, you always hate to see injuries, especially tough here in week 1. Just hoping this is nothing serious. We'll take a quick timeout. Out of the gun, it's Young. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Panthers 1st down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5. A nice completion there for the 1st down. And, Charles, you think about the quarterbacks of recent vintage that have been thrust into action week 1. It's no guarantee of future success, but we sure have seen some good ones.
We certainly have, partner. How about Joe Burrow with the Bengals in 2020? He was excellent. Kyler Murray with the Cardinals. The best part about his game has his team right on the brink of the playoffs. And Deshaun Watson has won division titles after having started from day one.
Another completion there. You know, we think about the draft back in the spring. He was selected, obviously, the #1 overall pick. There's great money with that, but, Charles, I would think maybe an extra burden, too, or is that not that big of a deal at all?
It actually is in the beginning of his career an added burden, but it's one of those things that if you play well, it becomes something that justifies why you were taken #1. You're fine with that. If you don't play well, it can be an albatross.
To the air once more, Young. Short throw underneath to Hurst. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that's going to bring up second down.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5. At the Falcons' 46-yard line.
One of the Panthers' big offseason acquisitions. Here's Miles Sanders. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. To throw, Young. Connection made with Chenault. And this won't do it. He needed 6. He only got halfway there. We'll get a pause here. There appears to be a Panther who is shaken up on that last play. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Fourth down, Young. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. And the Panthers turned away on 4th down. And the Falcons' defense stands tall. They'll get the football back. Well, it was too far for a field goal try. You don't really gain a whole lot out of a punt, so I don't think you have much of a problem with that, do you?
No, not at all. I think it's the right play, the exact right play, because even if you want to play defense and pin them deep, you know how hard it is for a punter to knock one dead inside the 10-yard line. That's not necessarily easily done. So I think going for it there was the right call.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Now a 2nd and 10. Ritter now. This is Miller, complete. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes. The Falcons on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Ritter. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
And this will pin him back deep. That's going to kick out of bounds right at about the 7-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And he'll take this one up to about the 13. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. 2 minutes on the clock in what's been a scoreless first half. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. Meanwhile, Young throw complete there to Thomas. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line.
A gain of 13 yards. 1st down, Carolina.
A 1st down throw for Young. And incomplete, he dropped it. Maybe a rookie mistake there, a 2nd down. Young to throw it. Throw left side on target to Thielen. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Young. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Panthers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. It'll be Young again. He'll get this to the rookie, Jonathan Mingo. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Young's throw complete to his receiver, Thielen. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
This offense has been slow to get started, but that play will certainly give them a little bit of life. Maybe the late wake-up call that they had been seeking.
A first red zone opportunity of the new year here as they come up now 1st and 10. Throwing, Young. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic.
And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Miles Sanders in the final seconds of the first half. And the Panthers go coast to coast and finish the drive off with 6 points.
You get in a 2nd and long situation down here in the red zone, I'd say most defensive coaches would think pass, let's bring some pressure. So this is kind of a tendency breaker here to hit him with something on the ground, and he'll take it all the way into the end zone.
Piñeiro's extra point up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. And he returns this to the 22.
The Falcons take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
All that remains is to snap this once, and that'll do it for the first half of play. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. In that first half, we saw the veteran Miles Sanders doing his thing. He wound up finding the end zone on a touchdown run to help give his guys the advantage here at the break.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the third quarter. This offense set to begin the third quarter, and Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one, so now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game, and down the stretch, being able to be balanced, either throw it or run it, and try and win this ball game.
The third down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. It's Young off play action. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Panthers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
They go play action. Young. He's got a man. That's Marshall. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it'll be second down.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3 at their 48-yard line.
Off the play fake, Young. That's the tight end Hurst with it. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons 33. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10. Down at the 33. A give running left. It's Sanders. There's a nice move. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Sliding out of the pocket. And he's going to lose a yard or two. Taken down behind the line. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. While the medical staff checks on him, we'll step aside in this Week 1 contest. The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11. From the shotgun, it's Young. Over the middle, complete. It's Marshall. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. It's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9. And they need 10 yards out of it on 3rd. Young to throw it. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And when you're throwing the ball downfield really well like they have been on this drive, it's really a nice time to work one of the screen plays in. One of my favorite play callers in the game has always told me he starts every game with 10 to 12 screens because if he starts feeling the pressure from the defense, he uses their aggressiveness against them.
Sanders going to be hit and met at the line of scrimmage. They get him down at the 3. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Young will set to throw. He's got it for a Panther touchdown. Adam Thielen from 3 yards out. And the Panthers take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Well, with this rookie QB, we talk a lot about his ball placement and how good he can be at laying it right in there. I think we just saw, Charles, though, the strength of that arm. That was an absolute rifle for the completed touchdown.
It absolutely was, and let's face it, you think he was really ready to get that first touchdown? Absolutely. He threw that pass with authority, just as you described. Big-time arm right there, and let's face it, a lot of quarterbacks used to be pitchers in baseball. The fastball was usually their best pitch, and we saw it there.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Here comes the Falcons offense. It's their first possession of the second half now. They make their second half debut here, and things are looking a little bit tougher now. You give up the points there, Charles, that touchdown drive on the other side. So now it's a 2-score game here. Got to be careful.
They certainly do, and I'm just wondering at halftime if those guys just looked into each other's eyes and realize what they've got to get done and come out a little bit more charged up, because if they don't get some kind of points here, that next drive, that can make this a free possession game.
That's caught left side to tight end Pitts. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Ritter. Right back to Pitts again. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left.
It's 2nd and inches.
Ritter to throw it. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Oh, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down. The Falcons on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. Ritter off the play fake. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Brian Burns flying in there and dropping him for the sack.
Offenses have to continue to try and come up with ways to block this man. Otherwise, those types of plays happen. This is why the Panthers rebuffed trade offers for Burns all offseason, knowing he's a franchise cornerstone. Career high 12.5 sacks last year. 38 in his first 4 seasons, and he added another one right there.
The Falcons go for it, but it doesn't work out. And the Panthers will get the football back. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. Able to power through. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
7-yard pickup. Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 46-yard line.
Here's Young. Short throw underneath to Hurst. It'll be a gain of just a yard. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 2.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
And he is going to have a Panthers first down as they get 5 there on 3rd and 2. He hasn't really had a game to remember, but that conversion right there is something to hang his hat on late.
It certainly is. And in these situations, what you're really looking for is the guy who's not worried about his stats, not worried they didn't get 100 yards in a game, but will make that dirty, gritty run that you have to close the game out, as we just saw there.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. They'll go again with Sanders. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down. They'll try and run for it with Sanders. And he is going to have the first down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. And Sanders there with a first down carry that might have gotten a yard, if that. 2nd down. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. And once again, he'll get possibly back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Young on 3rd down. And he fends him off. That's to the sideline and incomplete. So 2 3rd down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a 3rd, and now they deal with 4th down. So Young will head to the sideline, and on is Pinheiro for the Panther field goal. This to make it a 3-score game late. This is up and good from Pinheiro. And that will extend their lead even further. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. The Falcons ready to take over. And whatever promise they showed in the preseason has not translated into week 1 because they have not been particularly competitive here at home, no less. These fans just kind of beside themselves right now. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. Off the play fake, it's Ritter. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. The decision made for them. They've got to go. It's 4th down. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Ritter on 1st and 10. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Ritter from the gun. And And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left.
Down several scores and playing behind the chains is not the way to have success in this one. Right now, if you're the offensive line, your big concern, protecting your quarterback, and give him a chance to try and throw something downfield to pick up the needed yardage.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. Well, CD, that helps the home team as they try to erase this deficit, give them the penalty for pass interference on the defense.
Yeah, and they certainly haven't been.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. And the Panthers come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. Well, this was not just the opener of a brand new season, but this was a division game here in week 1. And to come through with a 1-0 start against a division opponent gives you a little something extra heading forward for the rest of the season.
Yeah, let's pile it all into